Governors Forum Alliance with federal government to stem the rising tide of Boko Haram activities, and All Progressives Congress in Kogi State heightens its buttons ahead of November governorship polls. This is NTA News Panorama. I am Lydia Bassi. Thank you for joining us. The National Economic Council says it is prepared to go along with the federal push program to end insurgency. The council also set up a team to work with the Central Bank of Nigeria to fast-track the intervention fund. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports on this and other resolutions of the council's second meeting.
As expected, the intervention fund by the Central Bank of Nigeria took the front burner as council received update of restructuring of bank loans for the states and payment of salary arrears from the CBN governor. Two options were placed before the governors. One is the option of debt restructuring, which will attract single-digit rate interest. And the second option, which is the bond option, will attract market rate. The council resolved that a four-man team made up of the governors of Bauchi, Rivers, Ondo and Osun State to follow up with the CBN to ensure that the issues of excess crude collateral for states are sorted out by next week Tuesday. Lagos State Governor Akiwumi Ambote speaks on behalf of the council.
We resolve to support the federal government in all its policy direction to boost the economy of this nation. Above all, we also spoke in areas that relate to boosting the revenue potentials of the country. We commend the efforts of the president. We also commend the efforts of the vice president on their visits to the areas in the northeast, and also resolved that we do everything in our own ways and right to ensure that we boost the economy of the state in the northeast.
On other concerns, the council resolved that the governors will have to cut down costs on governance.
We cannot continue with the kind of huge burden of each cost that we are applying to run our government. A situation where you are having a huge percentage of your budget as recurrent expenditure is obviously not acceptable.
Astonishing is the report by the governors of Yobe and Borno states, who raised alarm of 5 local government areas of the two states still being in possession of the insurgents. The council was advised to speak as a team to put pressure on the service chiefs to increase their efforts in fighting insurgency, and that there should be increase in sensitization and education. But an interesting angle is one suggested by the Osun State Governor Rauf Aregbesola that says that socio-economic angle should be introduced in addition to military intervention to deal with the Boko Haram problem. From the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
The Vice President, Yemi Osibajo, has called for vigilance on the part of Nigerians with regards to the activities of the Boko Haram insurgents. The Vice President says the insurgents have now resorted to training of scavengers for their nefarious activities. The Vice President, who made this known during the National Economic Council meeting in Abuja, says security reports reveal that the insurgents are planning to drop improvised explosive devices, IEDs, in the homes of top government officials, government offices and installations in the northeast. The Nigeria Governors Forum has debunked the claim that the federal government gave them a bailout to offset the outstanding balances owed workers. The chairman of the forum, Alhaji Abdulaziz Yari, made the clarification at the end of the meeting in Abuja. Political correspondent Femi Johnson reports.
The meeting focused on economy, health and other issues affecting the well-being of Nigerians. The forum resolved to discuss with the president to seek lasting solution to the worsening macroeconomic challenges confronting the nation, particularly on the foreign exchange stability. Members pledge to work with the present administration on a clear policy action that will stimulate domestic production. On the bailout issue, the forum says
the federal government did not give any bailout to any of the states. What has been shared last time was money from LNG and Shell. We have been looking all monies that are in purpose of the progression, more especially talking about the some of the excess the money that are hung around the purpose of government to be brought together for the purpose of sharing. No bailout money has come. The money shared to a routine process of distribution of proceeds to the nation. We are really very much concerned with the instability of the foreign currency. In the Naira, and that is what we are trying to discuss with Mr. President. We only raise issues of concern of the exchange rate, issue of concern of growing the economy.
In another development, the PDP Governors Forum at a meeting enjoined the Nigerian Armed Forces to step up efforts towards curtailing the insurgency in the northeast.
It's really a thing of concern to PDP governors.
The governors promised to support all efforts towards tackling the insurgency. In Abuja, Femi Johnson, NTA News.
The All Progressives Congress APC says it is re-strategizing for a victorious outing in the forthcoming Kogi State governorship election fixed for November 21st this year. The leader of the party in the state, Prince Abubakar Audu, stated this while receiving a board member of PDP and others who defected into the party. Clement Olawuntoba reports.
The All Progressive Congress APC supporters defied the early morning downpour in Abuja to welcome new members into the party. Among those who defected are the former Minister of Police Affairs, Humphrey Abba, and a former member of PDP Board of Trustees, Aja Halima Alpha. APC leader in Kogi State and former Governor Prince Abubakar Audu, who received their new members, stressed that the party will be further strengthened and repositioned election. He said that both the new and old equally.
We are winning more members every passing day. And in municipality is a game of number. The more the merrier. So it gladdens our heart.
APC chairman in the state, Alhaji Hadi Amajo, explained that the party was built on trust and courage, stressing that the party will always deliver on its promises. In Ayeba, Clement Olawuntoba, NTS.
36 people are reported to have died in the multiple bomb blasts in Gombe. The incident occurred less than a week after a similar suicide attack claimed about 50 lives at a busy market in the city. Musa Bakar has details.
The first twin bomb explosion happened around 7:30 in the evening at a crowded area outside Datanko Motor Park while people were praying. Less than an hour later, another twin bomb exploded at a busy area outside the Motor Park, which eyewitness said was strewn from a moving Hilux van. 15 bodies of those who died were deposited at the Gombe Specialist Hospital, while 21 were deposited at the Federal Teaching Hospital, Gombe. A total of 41 people injured in the multiple blasts are currently receiving treatment at the two hospitals. 6 were still treated and discharged. 15 were admitted. Neither the Gombe State Commissioner of Police nor the Police Public Relations Officer could be reached to confirm the incident. In Gombe, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
The Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar says he will strive towards charting a more effective strategy for fighting insurgency in Nigeria. He was speaking while on an assessment tour of Yola, Adamawa State. Correspondent Godia Daniel has details.
With his appointment as the Chief of Air Staff, Air Vice Marshal Sadiq Baba Abubakar says his first mission is to visit some of their strategic HQ tactical air commands to assess how to deal with insecurity in Nigeria. Having gone round, the Nigerian Air Force, he added, will evaluate what has been done in the past, re-strategize, and be more proactive in carrying out its operations. He disclosed that he has so far visited Kainji, Port Harcourt, and now in Yola. These, he noted, will help them map out strategies and promise additional resources will be provided decided at the Yola Tactical Air Command.
What we are trying to do is to evaluate what we have been doing and to understand what we need to do more in order to be effective, and then start a course determine where we want to be in the future.
Commenting on the Nigerian airport's free medical outreach for the internally displaced persons in the northeast and other places, the Chief of Air Staff says the Air Force has a responsibility to the civil society, hence the gesture.
In counterinsurgency operations, winning hearts and minds of the population is very important. We believe that these are Nigerians that have been forced out of their homes, and we have the responsibility of the service to assist.
He commended men and officers of the Nigerian Air Force for their tireless effort and assured to look at their areas of challenges and improve on it. In Yola, Godia Daniel, NTA News.
The Shehu of Borno, Abubakar Umar El-Kanemi, is mobilizing grassroots support for intelligence gathering in aid of the fight against insurgency. The Shehu of Borno stated this when the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Tukur Buratai, on tour of duty to Borno State, paid him a courtesy visit. Defense correspondent Muhammad Abdul Qadir reports.
The Shehu of Borno told members of his council, including the district heads, to go back to their various constituencies to galvanize support to improve the security architecture in support of counter-insurgency operations. The Chief of Army Staff identified traditional institutions and the civil populace as strategic partners in the fight against insurgency and acknowledged what he described as the fatherly role of Shehu of Borno in the defense against terrorism.
I want to assure you, very soon, we will open up this week and make sure that people will continue their business.
The Chief of Army Staff had strategic meeting at the 7th Tactical Headquarters, Maiduguri, paid courtesy call on the Deputy Governor of Borno State, as well as visited injured soldiers at the hospital and was at Maimalari Cantonment Cemetery to pay respect to the fallen heroes. In Abuja, Muhammad Abdul Qadir, NTA News.
You're watching News Panorama. Senate President plays host to the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress. What were some of the issues discussed during the visit? These and more reports after these messages.
The struggle for independence had been a long and tough one. Our founding fathers and compatriots sacrificed their comfort and even shed their blood. We cannot at this point in history afford to spirit away their sacrifices for immediate and providence of the day. Let us emphasize what unites and not what divides us. Working for the unity of purpose with a stronger vision for a better tomorrow. NTA, growing with the nation.
No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. We're here together. Let's not fight with each other. Let us give a love. It doesn't matter where you come from. The fight for religion, man, woman, or child. It doesn't matter who you are. Nigeria first. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. We're here together. How can we develop always in crisis? Families have become broken from young children. Show some understanding. No matter where you come from, no matter your religion, we are one. We're here together.
Nigeria, the only country we can trend with remarkable potential to excel. Let us believe in ourselves and change our attitude for the sake of our country and generations unborn. Let us revive our cultural values which are our essence as a nation. Let us renew the spirit of patriotism and hope in our dear country. Do not take or give bribe. no more African time. We can't expect to be global citizens and operate on African time. Join the queue. Insist that people are attended to on a first-come basis, no matter who they are or where they come from.
Nigeria, good people, good nation.
Welcome back. The Nigeria Labour Congress (NLC) says it will soon push for the upward review of Nigerian workers' minimum wage from 18,000 naira in line with economic realities. The NLC leadership stated this during a meeting with the Senate President Dr. Bukola Saraki. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Garba Bini Kudu reports.
By law, the national minimum wage is to be reviewed at the end of every 5 years. This prompted the NLC to seek the support of the National Assembly in pushing the review of the minimum wage. While attributing the economic crunch in some states who could not pay salaries to corruption and high cost of governance, the NLC says it will partner with government to fight corruption in all ramifications.
In one way or the other, you can still partner with those who stay through and do business together.
Alhaji Abdullah Mukhtar Muhammad urged the successful air carriers to comply with the standards laid down by the Saudi aviation authorities and to also cooperate with the various Muslim welfare boards.
Our pilgrims should be treated like any other international traveler who desire and who get the best service, because they pay for it. And part of the function of the Commission, along with other stakeholders, is to make sure that the pilgrims get value for their money.
The Commissioner of Operations also presented committees on e-tracking for passenger movement, consular and security for inauguration by the chairman, who equally called for dedication and commitment in line with the change mantra of the Buhari administration. Adamasa Abdullahi, NTA News.
We apologize for the poor quality of our report. Moving on now, the National Universities Commission has maintained its stand that degrees from the Mariam Abacha American University in Niger Republic will not be accepted in Nigeria. At a press briefing in Abuja, Director of Information and Public Relations, Ibrahim Yakasai, warned Nigerians not to patronize Muslim universities in some West African countries. Franca Uzoma Olua has details.
The Mariam Abacha American University, according to Malam Ibrahim Yakasai, runs on part-time basis with a graduation time of 4 semesters for nursing, medical laboratory science and public health programs. This, he says, is not allowed in cross-border education in Nigeria.
I have offered admission to the BSc Medical Laboratory Science, Mariam Abacha American University of Niger. Then the student has HND. And if for somebody with an HND to go and do medical laboratory science, what be at HND level? It's not taken here. 34 months part-time. And in all this, the student is only expected to have 3 contact sessions in a semester. And the whole semester is just a degree.
The Commission therefore urges Nigerians to be wary of some universities, especially those on the West African coast and East Africa.
Any degree obtained from Nigerian American university, but within the Nigerian coast is not accepted. The degree was taken with the council of the is no graduate from the Nigerian American university will also be mobilized for the student program in the council of the education.
The recent ban on 53 tertiary institutions from admitting students in Ghana, Malam Ibrahim Yakasai says, has vindicated the NUC on its drive to continuously expose degree names that admit mostly Nigerian children who did not gain admission into any Nigerian university for lack of requirements. In Abuja, Franca Uzoma Olwa, NTA News.
And now sports. National men's under-23 football team breaks up training camp ahead of second leg CAF Championship qualifier against Congo as Jamaica and Mexico prepare to meet in the final of the 2015 CONCACAF Gold Cup on Sunday in the United States. Kenai Emal Butite takes us from here on Sports Updates.
Overseas-based Aminu Umar
Umar and Abdullahi Shehu, as well as Flying Eagles midfielder Kingsley Sokari, are among the 5 more players invited by coach Samson Siasia ahead of the must-win return leg of